Hey guys, welcome back to Budget with the July Dreamer. My name is Murder, and on this channel I share with you everything personal finance as well as lifestyle content in the form of vlogs. So today's video I will be sharing with you how much I spent in the month of April. Today is Wednesday the 7th of May. It's early in the morning. I do have my first coffee of the day and I'm excited to share today's video because I'm feeling very invigorated. April was a very slow month for me, a very beautifully slow month. Not how I had initially planned it, but slow nonetheless, and I'm happy with how it went. And today I thought I share with you a recap of the plans. I did cover these plans, majority of them, in my May monthly reset video, but today we'll just go through all of them because the month is over and now I can give you a full picture. And then I do have my laptop just here on the floor. I will be doing a screen record. I have not done a screen record in forever and a day when I was doing like my budget videos, so I thought I'd do a screen record and I'll be sharing the budget tracker from Press Reset. So I use two planners, budget trackers at the moment, my very own that I make and sell on Etsy. It's always linked in the description bar below, and then the one from Press Reset because I just love that it encapsulates everything in one place, which is easy for me when I'm managing my personal finances. So that is what today's video is going to be about. Without further ado, let us get into today's video. Okay, so I thought I start off first with the goals because you guys know your girl writes everything down. So these goals that I've written in my notebook are also reflected in the tracker, so I kind of like duplicate it, but it's easier for me when I'm like on the go and I haven't taken my planners to access them on the Google Sheet where Press Reset is. So for me it's easier that way. That's why I like to duplicate this. It doesn't take me too long to do this anyway, and I've been doing it for years, so for me it's not a lot of hassle, but for some people it could be. So you may want to just pick your poison, like is it pen and paper or is it electronic, whichever takes your fancy. So in terms of goals, I set goals in 4 buckets. So I do the financials, I do lifestyle, I do the travel, and I do the wellness. So what I'm reading off now is broken down into these buckets, but what I will show you as screen grabs from the tracker will just have them all mishmashed together. But for me, in my notebook, it's broken down into these categories. So the financial goals, I wanted to restart saving for my emergency fund. I did not do this, y'all. It was... we're not even gonna go there. And then I said to pay extra towards my loans. I did that. I'm very happy with the progress that I made, and I know I shared with you guys a video on my 2-year update with respect to my my personal loan Zopa that I took out in April of 2023. So we reached the 2-year mark last month, and I'm glad with the progress that I've made. I'm excited to pay off this loan as soon as possible, so I'm throwing everything that I can towards this loan. My lifestyle goals, I say to attend therapy weekly, which I do every single week. It's the best decision that I ever made for myself for 2025, and I'm so happy with how it's going. I'm feeling a little bit different, and also I'm loving that a lot of the lessons that I'm learning, I can apply them into my life, especially as it relates to like relationships with our friends, with families, and romantic relationships as well. So it's been really good in my opinion. And then I wrote for the second one to go to the theater or to the spa. I did go to the theater. I'm going to be writing a blog post later today sharing about my experience with the Swans play that we watched in London Soho Theatre. So that was really good, so I did that. And then I said to go to Pilates, which I do every single month without fail, so I did do this as well. In terms of travel, I said to book my flight to Zambia to travel at the end of this month. I did do this, but the airline cancelled the flight with no reason whatsoever. I'm still waiting for my refund. It's a bit of a pain because I was waiting for them to send me back the refund so I can book a new flight, but I cannot. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm just canceling the whole trip to Zambia. Zambia is my home country. this year I was meant to go. There's so many things I wanted to do, and for every single thing I wanted to execute without even telling people, like, this is just something I was planning privately, and it literally just kept falling through. And I was saying to one of my best friends who's in Zambia, and my cousin, I was like, listen, it feels like 2025 is telling me Zambia is not, shouldn't be on the cards for me this year. Okay, like everything seems to be falling through. So I'm like, okay, I hear you, Zambia. You don't have to tell me twice. Well, Zambia's told me twice already, so let's not make it a third. So I've just decided, do you know what, we'll just skip over Zambia this year and just go maybe next year, because this is crazy. And then I said to go on a solo trip. Yo, I still want to go on a solo trip. I still want to find somewhere else to go for the end of this month, but I don't know where. And last month I said to go on a solo trip, I didn't go, and after the Zambia debacle I was just like, you know what, I don't even want to go anywhere. Like, I don't. So I didn't go anywhere. But anyway, those are the travel goals that I had. And then in terms of wellness, I said to continue learning how to swim and then to start learning how to ride a bike. So let's start with the bike. With the bike, I really do want to learn how to ride a bike, because I cannot ride a bike, and my sister's bike is here with me. She keeps it in my shed, and we decided, me and my friend, we were going to help me learn until we find that it's one of those prickly ones with gears and all of you, and it wouldn't move. Like, no matter which buttons or whatever we pressed, nothing. So I was like, well, that's it now. So I did not start learning how to ride a bike. I feel like I should just go to like the people that you pay to teach you, and they kind of like come with the bike, they provide you the bike, and then you get to learn with them. I think they said it would just take like one Saturday and that's it. So I think I'm just gonna have to do that. And then the other goal that I had was to continue learning how to swim, and I'm doing that. I'm loving it. Yesterday I went for my swimming lesson, and slow progress I felt yesterday. I didn't feel like I made huge progress, but that's okay. I think with learning, it's not about rushing, it's just about taking your time, being comfortable in the water. And I'm surprised about the progress that I've made, because this is 16 weeks on. I'm still loving it, and I think once I perfect my breathing with the swimming, then I want to learn a different style of swimming as well. But for now, let's just stick to the basics, which I'm loving for me. So those were all the goals that I had set for myself for the month of April. Now what I'm gonna do is we are going to move to my tracker from Press Reset, and I am going to shrink myself to the corner as I start the screen record now. Okay, so as you can see, we are in the April tab, the monthly reminders, which I've always loved, and then on the top here you've got top priorities, and then here you've got like top goals, which I have spoken about just now. So yeah, so now what we're going to do is just quickly look over to my cash flow, right? So this is like the overall breakdown of where my money went. So in terms of income, it's I budgeted 6,500 and I brought in over 8,000 pounds. Now this 8,000 pounds is inclusive of my carryover, so my rollover money from the month of March. If we remove that, it's about 5,600 and something. But yeah, so that is how I normally budget. I include my rollover. So as someone who gets paid in the middle of the month and all my bills go out on the first of the month, I kind of set it up this way. Bills, I budgeted 2,350. I spent just over 2,300. Expenses, I budgeted just under 2,000 pounds and I was over 3,300. And we'll go into detail with all of these. Savings, I was like, if I could afford a 20 pounds towards my savings, I'll be happy. Yo, I ended up taking out over 1,000 pounds. So yeah, investments, I always send about 600 pounds. I was able to send 678.27 pence. And then debt, I budgeted 1,600. I only sent 1,464.80 pence, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So starting off first with my income summary. So this one I've blocked it off for privacy reasons. So in most months it's just the salary and then other earnings plus interest, because my accounts earn interest and I'm trying to track them because I have to pay taxes on them, so I'm tracking everything. So salary, bonus is not every single month, but there are months that I get a bonus. Cashback, I do get cashbacks from most of my credit cards. Interest, like I said, I get interest every single month from my accounts. And then other earnings could be, maybe I've taken some money from my businesses and my rental properties. Or I've earned it, maybe I've sold something and stuff like that. So in terms of my income summary, I was budgeting £4,000, and that I ended up bringing 5,623 and 85 pence. I practice the principle of paying yourself first. So for this budget, we're gonna go straight to the investment that is part of me paying myself first. So paying yourself first is taking care of your investments, your savings, and your debt. So that's what we're going to do. So with my investments, I contribute towards my Vanguard ISA, my Vanguard SIP. I've got my Hargreaves Lansdowne LISA. I've got my Free Trade General Investment Account and Plum. Plum, I don't budget anything for it purely because it's a roundup type of app. So it rounds up my weekly spending and then saves the difference, which I appreciate. So all of this investing is all just me rounding up the monies from my everyday spending. So I never budget anything, but like I said, I always project at least £600 that I send towards my investments, and I was able to do exactly what I planned to do. And then for Plum, it managed to save me just under 80 quid for the month of April. Second tab for paying myself first is my debt. So with my debt, I've got these two personal loans, Zopa and Creation, and then my Nationwide credit card that I'm trying to repay back. So I budgeted $880 for my debt purely because I wanted to enter May with £15,000 even as owing on that, but obviously money is worked a little bit differently. And then for Creation loan, I always send $650 as my minimum, so I was able to send that $650. But for my Zopa loan, I only managed to send $764 and 80 pence. That still put a great dent into my my loan, which I was so happy about, and I talked about that in my 2-year recap of that loan. For my Nationwide, I said 70 quid. I managed to send 50 quid, which again is not bad at all. Then the other one where I said, you know, the other part of paying myself first, which is my savings and my sinking funds, I said I was going to put at least £20 to my emergency fund. Yo, look at this. I ended up taking over £1,000 out of my emergency fund, completely zeroing it out now. And then my sinking funds, I took out the monies that was in there because I had an annual bill that came up, and that was the purpose. That's the purpose of my sinking funds. Then my 1p challenge. So every single day my Bank Monzo does save 1 pence extra every single day. So on day 1 it was 1 pence, on day 2 it was 2 pence, and then we're, I think, day 107, so you know, it's £1.07. So it increases every day, and the last day will be January 14th, I think, next year. And then for my 40th birthday, I was able to send £40 because I'm saving slowly but surely. So I've got about 2 years and 2 months left before my 40th. So I would like by this time, in 2 years time, to have saved the amount that I want to be able to spend it the way I want to spend it for my 40th birthday. So yeah, so this is where pay myself first. This is how it looks like for me. And then here you can see all of my spendings. I track everything, the bills, the expenses, all of it. I track all of it. So now let us go to my bills, because my bills are always a fun thing to look at. My mortgage, 1,400, advanced mortgage 1,340. So essentially I am sending about 1,740 towards my mortgage every single month. Yeah, such is life. Council tax 165. So council tax used to be 155 all of 2024. This year it went up. It goes up every single year. I remember when I was paying my council tax and it was like £100. Now soon it'll be £200, and well, yeah, my combined utilities, so this is my gas and my electric, that's 115. My income protection insurance, that's 88 pounds and 63 pence. My life insurance is 79 pounds, so just about 80 pounds. My mobile, so I budgeted higher for this because I increased the data plan on my phone. I was paying 10 pounds for it, but I seem to finish like the data every single month, so they offered me a good deal and I was like, sure, I'll take it on. So now I have 20 gig of data. So yeah, but I was thinking the bill was going to be higher in April, because that's what they said, but it wasn't. But in May it's actually like 82 pounds. So yeah, anyway, and this is my phone, my internet, my YouTube Premium, what else, my watch, data for my watch. Sometimes I like to leave my phone at home, but I still have my watch so that I can make calls, receive calls, and just my location for safety, that kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, so that's what this entire amount includes. So my home internet, my phone line rental, so for line rental, YouTube Premium, my what is it, my watch, and something else I can't remember, but yeah, that's what this encapsulates. Then there was nothing for home insurance because I paid it in March, and then car maintenance or insurance, car maintenance is this month of May, and today it just went through. And then for travel insurance I was paying 22 pounds 50. My water, that was back in February, so we covered that. And then my mobile, my second mobile, this is my second mobile, I pay 48 pounds for that. So this includes the device and the line rental together. And then with the expenses, because you know, life is lived in the expenses. Yeah, so health and wellness, if you watch my videos you will know that I moved health and wellness for my bills to my expenses because it just wasn't making sense. So anyway, it's in my health, in my expenses. So health and wellness, always budget 450, sometimes 500 pounds, always, because this encapsulates my therapy, my wellness coach, my swimming lessons, my Pilates, and maybe extra Pilates and swimming class. That's what this encapsulates. So I spend about 500 pounds on me, just for my health and well-being, and I love it for me. No qualms there. Travel, I did not budget anything for travel, but I spent 736 pounds, and this is because 500 of this is towards the plane ticket for Zambia that I'm still waiting to be refunded on. So I'm reflecting here because it has been spent, right, and I don't have the money back. Once I get the money back I can remove that, but I won't. Excuse me. Let me have actually some coffee. And then the 236 pounds is actually for a girls trip that we have later in the year, so I paid for my portion of that, which I'm very excited about. Then groceries, I budgeted 200 pounds and I spent just over 100 pounds, and this is not because I was saving or anything. I was just lazy to do my groceries. So, and also I just wanted to eat everything that I had at home. So yeah, but on the first day of May I spent this exact amount in one visit. This amount, 107.76 pence. Across April, it was across the month. It wasn't a one visit, no. But for May, because I'd run out of a lot of things, this is how much I spent in one visit. So I don't know, I might go over. Actually no, I will not go over anymore because I got some vouchers from work for Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Marks and Spencer's, so I'll be using those and that will help with my budget. Subscriptions, I always look at the subscriptions that I have due every single month. I write them down in this planner, and every single time when I'm planning my budget I come in here and I write down exactly which subscriptions are coming up. So for example, for the month of April I had Disney Plus coming up, and I decided not to renew that at all. So I changed that to a monthly subscription because it was almost £200. I was like, it's not worth it. I don't watch Disney Plus enough for me to justify that annual fee, because I like paying for some of these bills annually. So for me, it did not make any sense. So I canceled that. But that's what I like to do. I like to look at the expenses that I know are coming up and budget for them. So for subscriptions, it ended up coming to 237, purely because I did not renew my Disney. Tithe and giving, 200. I was able to give over £400, which is always great. As a Christian, this makes me happy. Fuel, I did not fuel at all, but again, on the 1st day of May, I did, because my car had completely run, almost dry. I think I had like 40 miles left in the car. I don't like that. I like having at least a tank half full. Full tank I prefer, but if I can help it, if like I am not topping up, at least if my tank is half full, I'm happy. That's like, my dad always laughs at me, but that's how I prefer it. He's always like, right. Yeah, I don't like not having a full tank, or even like half a tank. When it's below half a tank, it just makes me nervous. I don't even know why. Yeah. Anyway, transportation. So for me, this is like my plane. Train tickets into London, train tickets to where I do my Pilates and all of that. So I spent £45.65. Restaurants, I'm surprised I actually didn't go over with this one, but that's great. I spent 70 quid. Self-care, so this is doing my nails, doing my hair, and all of that good jazz. I only did my nails, and no, I only did my hair. I didn't do my nails in April. My hair was 80 quid. Yeah, my hair was 80 quid. I didn't do my nails. Yeah. And then coffee and social was budget 100, and I only spent £22. Shopping, I budget 65. I was within budget. Household, I budgeted 100. I didn't really spend a lot on household because I was lazy and I didn't want to buy anything. Miscellaneous, I budgeted 60, and I was within budget, which is great. This is a new item that I've added in local adventures, because I seem to be doing a lot of local adventures and I don't want to be throwing everything into travel. So I created this new tab, and I went axe and knife throwing with my friend. So that cost me £31.44, and then nothing else for the rest of the expenses here, which was great. So this is where my money went. The majority of it went towards my travel, but technically this is only like £200 for my girls trip. But because I haven't received my refund for my what is it called, for my cancelled flight, I went over budget. But otherwise, this is what my money is saying about me. So total income over £8,000, total bills over 2,300, total expenses over 2,300, total savings minus over £1,000, total invested over £600, total debt over 1,400. So one of the things that I'm hoping to do real soon this year is pay off both my loans, which means my budget will gain back its 1,400 ish into my budget. That is the whole reason why I'm working extra hard to pay off my debt. But yeah, so this is my budget